And let's put the audio on. Wave hello, Sherry. We're waiting for YouTube. We're waiting for YouTube. There we go. YouTube's up. Okay. I always love this music. Happy. Bonnie D and Sherry M. We're back with a vengeance. Happy birthday. It's your day. August 5th already? Special way. Shine. Smile.
We're celebrating you in style.
Gentle lowering of the music. Welcome. I'm Bonnie D, and my very special guest co-host, the beautiful Sherry M, is back. She's my almost always Tuesday guest co-host. Sherry, just quickly, how are you?
Great. How are you doing, Bonnie?
I'm fine. I'm happy to be here. And let me do my opening, and we're going to get going with the birthdays today. And we have some interesting birthday news today. So it's time to cheer, to toast, to woo. It's August 5th. Happy birthday to you and you and you. We don't know who you are, but we would love to know. With Bonnie D on her scarlet mic, dishing glam and sass with a vintage spike. I'm not the vintage, it's the spike. And look who's here with her velvet roar. It's Sherry M, my guest co-host du jour, almost every Tuesday. We're naming names in the birthday game from Hollywood Heights to YouTube fame, plus wacky holidays and music history gold. Get ready, darlings. The fun is set to unfold. So grab your party hat. Let's pretend we have party hats on, Sherry. Party hat, and let the champagne pour. HB2U is lighting up August 5th with glam, bam, and more. I love that. Sherry, you ready to start? Shall we go?
Let's go.
Okay, August 5th. We have dates in music history. 1957, American Bandstand. Oh my, made its national debut on ABC TV, hosted by the late wonderful, the world's youngest, oldest teenager ever. He never aged. Dick Clark, launching decades of music and dance TV fame. And rumor has it, Sherry, that some people came home from school and quickly turned on ABC TV to see the teenagers dancing on the show. There was Justine and Bob, and there were all the couples, and we followed their romance. Not me, of course, followed their romances and who was dancing with whom. And I have a friend who wrote a book about it with pictures, and
Wow.
I interviewed one of the original bandstand people about 5 years ago on one of my shows, and it was Arlene. Yes, Arlene. I can't remember her
Wow.
boyfriend's name. It was culture. It really was, and we loved the
It was the
music.
original MTV.
What's that?
It was the original MTV.
Yes, it was absolutely. Get a little
Predecessor.
closer to your microphone, Sherry. Get a little bit
Okay.
closer to your mic. Okay, do the next one.
Okay. 1959, the Isley Brothers recorded Shout in New York, immortalizing their party anthem sound. And that is still a staple of every wedding I've ever been to.
You're kidding. You know
No.
you make me wanna.
Shout.
There you go. Okay. In 1964, moving ahead 5 years, the Beach Boys started recording. I don't know why it's important that they started recording When I
Yeah.
Grow Up to Be a Man. The song reached number 9 in the US and topped the Canadian singles charts. I guess they liked more of the macho. Yes. Okay. Go ahead in Canada. What's next?
1965, Beatles' Help started 3 weeks at number 1 on the UK singles chart. The song topped charts in 11 countries that year, including the US, Canada, Finland, Sweden, and Germany.
Oh my goodness gracious. And the next year, more Beatles history. The
Yeah.
Beatles released their seventh studio album, Revolver, through Parlophone Records. That's an interesting name. It topped the charts in the US, UK, and Canada. Go ahead.
In 1975, Aerosmith signed a $125,000 deal, which sounds minimal today,
Doesn't
with
it?
Columbia Records. I almost said million because, right?
I know.
Um, with Columbia Records after performing at Max's Kansas City in New York, launching their major label era.
Sherry, Aerosmith's Dream On was the first song I performed when I was learning drums. And
Really?
I was part of an adult band at the School of Rock in Cary and Durham, North Carolina,
I
several
remember
years
that.
ago. And we had a concert at a place called Motorco, which was a downtown Durham shall we say, a concert venue where they had bleachers on two sides, and it was a big open space. And we had nine bands that day, starting with the 8 and 9 year old kids who had a teacher who was singing Beatles songs with them while they played whatever they're playing, guitar and drums. And then we had three adult bands, and I was the new drummer in one of the adult bands, and I played Dream
How
On. And
fun is that?
it was great. Most of the people there were parents of the kids, and they came to me and
Right.
said, "How long have you been drumming?" And I said, "6 weeks." And they said, "Well, you sound a lot better than that." So that was a lot of fun. In 1978, the Rolling Stones disco rock song "Miss You," da 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 dum, da 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 dum, and I Miss You, went to number one on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. It topped the Canada singles chart, and it was number three in the UK. And at open mic nights later on, after I was drumming for a year or two, I used to play Miss You, and we'd have 8 or 9 musicians from who were there that night come up and play. We had a bass player, we had guitar, we had once in a while a keyboard. It was a blast. So I played Miss You. It was one of my three songs. Go ahead, Sherry. Good memories.
1989, Gloria Estefan's debut solo studio album, Cuts Both Ways, began 6 weeks at number one in the UK. It reached number one in Australia, the Netherlands, and New Zealand.
Good for you, Gloria Estefan. There you go. That was her breakout from the Miami Sound Machine. Let's go to celebrity birthdays now. We've just got three here, and then we've got a couple of in memoriams and one very recent. So today, still alive and very well, is Maureen McCormick. She is 1 year short of 70. She played Marsha Brady.
Uh,
Anybody remember the Brady Bunch? Remember, Sherry?
Oh, yeah, she's forever 17 in my eyes.
And hooked, I think, in her own eyes too, maybe in her own mirror. She also played Marsha Brady in the spin-offs in the films The Brady Bunch, The Brady Bunch Hour, The Brady Bunch Kids, The Brady Brides, and A Very Brady Christmas from that was 1988. On stage, on Broadway, she played Wendy Darling, interesting, in 1983 production of Peter Pan. She played Betty Rizzo in a 1994 production of Grease. She recorded 4 studio albums with the cast of the Brady Bunch and toured with them. And she had an autobiography called Here's the Story, and apparently it was a real tell-all, published in 2008, debuted on number four on the New York Times bestseller list. I think we need to get a hold of that and read it and find out.
Yeah, yeah, I'm interested now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, James Gunn is 59 today. He's the writer and the director that's known for the 2014 blockbuster Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if you've all seen that, but that is an awesome movie. We've watched it multiple times. He wrote the screenplay for the 2002 Scooby-Doo movie and the 2004 sequel, Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. And he also wrote the script for the 2004 horror film Dawn of the Dead, which
Oh,
was a remake of a 1978 original.
happy birthday,
Cult
James Gunn.
classic. Yeah.
59. He's almost a grown-up now. He's 59. I guess he is. Happy birthday to a much younger man. Jesse Williams is 44. He played Dr. Jackson Avery on Grey's Anatomy. He's a TV and film actor, and before he got famous, he worked as a model and he was a high school teacher. So there's a future for teachers on TV, and maybe Grey's Anatomy is hiring. Sherry, why don't you start the in memoriam with a very sad one for us today?
Well, unfortunately, Lonnie Anderson would have been 79 today, but she passed away 2 days ago,
She
Bonnie,
would have
was
been
it?
80. She would have been
Was it
80 today.
80? Yeah.
Yeah.
Actress who played the sultry receptionist Jennifer Marlowe on CBS sitcom WKRP in Cincinnati, for those of you who remember that. If you don't remember it and don't know it, look it up on one of the streaming channels. She was offered the role when producers saw a poster of her in a red swimsuit, and she was posing similar to Farrah Fawcett's pose at the time, which was that poster was a big sellout with all the kids, all the boys.
Yep.
Um, Her acting debut was a bit part in Nevada Smith in 1966, starring Steve McQueen. Owing to her rising popularity as WKRP's main attraction, Anderson walked out on the sitcom during the 1980 summer hiatus, requesting a substantial salary increase. And she started in the television film, The Jane Mansfield Story. When the network agreed to her request, she returned to the series, WKRP, and remained until its cancellation in 82. And she also became known for her relationship with the actor and marriage to Burt Reynolds.
Sherry apparently is one of the most tempestuous divorces in Hollywood history. It was in the tabloids for years and years and years, but I heard that when he passed away many years before she did, they said they were still friends. But that apparently was a divorce of all divorces. And I would say bravo, Lonnie Anderson, for fighting for a better salary if you were the one who was drawing people to WKRP. I don't know if a lot of women were doing it in those days. And there was just a remake of the Jane Mansfield story because her daughter is Mariska Hargitay, and she just did I think on CNN she just did a documentary about her mother, my mother Jane
I
Mansfield.
saw
So
that. I did not get to see the show though. Have you watched it?
no, I haven't. I
Yeah,
haven't.
I'd
Interesting.
be interested in that.
All these years later, let's go to another in memoriam. Neil Armstrong, the American astronaut, aerospace engineer, test pilot, and professor. He was born in 1930, lived till 2012. He passed away at 82. The first person to set foot on the moon. The date was July 20th, 1969. He spent 8 days. Listen to this, everybody. Those of you who want to count how long your lifespan is, he spent 8 days, 14 hours, 12 minutes, and 30 seconds in space. More than 1/8 of the Earth's entire population, that was 450 million people, watched him step on the moon on their televisions. That was 1969. So, Sherry, that was 30, 25, that was 56 years ago. He received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the Congressional Space Medal of Honor. And what's interesting is he took his first airplane flight at the age of 5 when he and his father were passengers on a Ford trimotor plane in Warren, Ohio. So, parents of young kids, their formative years may help form what they become later in life, right, Sherry?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Then we have Toni Morrison, who died at 88. It would be her birthday today. She's an American novelist and editor who won the 1933 Nobel Prize in Literature. She became the first Black female editor for fiction at Random House in New York City in the late 1960s, and her novel, The Bluest Eye, was published in 1970. Her acclaimed novel, Song of Solomon, published in 1977, won the National Book Critics Circle Award, and in 88, Morrison won the Pulitzer Prize for Beloved, which was made into a film in 1988. Before she became famous, she began writing fiction as part of an informal group of poets and writers at Howard University and shared her story about a Black girl who longed to have blue eyes, which I really interesting. She developed the story as her first novel, The Bluest Eyes, getting up every morning at 4 a.m. to write while raising 2 children on her own.
Bravo, Toni Morrison. Bravo, Neil Armstrong. And bravo, Lonnie Anderson. Three very interesting, I would say, brave and
Mhm.
forward moving, forward thinking, shall we say, barrier breaking stars in different genres. So we miss you all. Let's go to social media stars. Let's do Instagram first. We have David Chang, who is 48 years old. He has 1.8 million followers. He is a chef of New American Cuisine. He's the founder of the Momofuku Restaurant Group. He opened Michelin star rated restaurants in New York, in Sydney, Australia, and Toronto. He has appeared on Top Chef All Stars, Master Chef Australia, and The Mind of a Chef. He opened his first restaurant in 2004 in New York's East Village. He's on Instagram and he's doing a lot more than that. But I thought it was interesting, Sherry, to find somebody who has been on major TV, who is a restaurateur, Michelin star rated, and he's also on Instagram with 1.8 million followers. Happy birthday, David Chang.
He may be our oldest social media star that we've gone over.
No, I had Granny Smith who was 102 last week on a
Oh,
different
okay.
show.
Okay, well, that definitely beats that.
Yeah, and
Okay,
I had a 99 also the week
okay, I
before.
missed those. TikTok, Bailey Spin, age 23, has 15 million plus followers. She's a singer, and her video, hashtag point of view, truth or dare, got 3 million plus views in 2 days. I have to go look at that video. Her first video to reach 1 million plus videos was a point of view comedy. Her 2022 video about having a certain amount of breaths per day has 8 million views. It's crazy.
You and I should do something about the number of breaths we've had in our lifetimes, Sherry. I think that's an idea. We're going to do that. Also on
Okay.
TikTok today, we have a young man, 1 year younger than Bailey Spin. By the way, Bailey Spin spells her last name with two N's. Vincent Gigante. He's age 22. He has 2.7 million followers, and he posts what they call relatable comedy and couples videos. And in 2021, I won't name the company, but he posted an aggravated review of two new, shall we just say, coffee at a famous barista company drinks. So I don't know what it is with him, but anyway, happy birthday to Vincent Gigante. Go ahead.
YouTube, Adley McBride, age 10, the ripe
Yep.
old age of 10. She has 7 million plus subscribers to the A for Adley Learning and Fun channel on YouTube, where she plays games, often with family. She's the daughter of social media stars Sean and Jenny McBride, so she came by it naturally.
Yes, of course. So happy birthday, Adley, age 10. I hope you're having fun playing games. I hope you get some cool games on your birthday. Let's go to our wacky holidays. We got a bunch of them today. Let's see. Let's flip-flop, go back and forth and alternate on the history here. We have National Couscous Day. Have you ever cooked couscous, Sherry?
I have, and I am surprised that there's a couscous day.
Okay, well, dates back to 6000 BC. It's unlikely that's exactly when, but nobody knows for sure because couscous is made from ground wheat, and we didn't know about ground wheat until 6000 BC. So that's the pinpoint on the map is 6000 BC. What's next?
The next one we have is, sorry, paging down, National Underwear Day.
Oh,
Why
you
did
didn't
you
want to
give
do the
me
rest
that
of the
one?
couscous. I want to do the rest
Oh,
of the couscous. You
oh,
got
you want,
the
oh, okay.
yeah,
Let's go
yeah.
back. I thought you were done with
No,
couscous.
no, no. Just a little bit more. Go ahead. 13th century.
Okay.
That's yours.
The 13th century couscous first appeared in the Moorish Spanish cookbooks. Couscous is similar to rice, pasta, or bread as an inexpensive and nutritious product made from wheat or other cereals like sorghum, barley, corn, millet, or grains, and it can be preserved long term.
Couscous. Couscous is easy to cook. It can be served as a main course or a dessert. I didn't know that. It's very versatile with vegetables, legumes, meat, fish, butter, or fresh fruit. And I'm going to add this one. In Africa, women prepare couscous for family events and
Oh.
feasts like births and weddings. And Sherry, now you know the next one. Who created the day? Go ahead.
The Branded Food Group Limited creates National Couscous Day for awareness about couscous as a versatile, healthier alternative to rice, pasta, and noodles.
I'm going to stick with my rice, pasta, and noodles. Thank you very much. I have a rice cooker. Do you have one of those?
No, I don't. We just do it on the stovetop.
It's 26 minutes, and you put in, it comes a little cup, and you fill it with the rice grains. You can rinse them or not, and then you add twice that number of little cups of water, and there's measuring lines inside of a black pot that inserts into the cooker. Then you close the lid, it snaps shut. You push on, you push whether it's white rice, brown rice, and then a little timer goes around on the front, and in 26 minutes, you have a pot filled with perfect fluffy rice.
Hmm.
And I make 2 cups at a time, and that's enough for 2 or 3 days of meals.
Want to know what I do?
What do you do?
I buy those little packets in the grocery store that take 90 seconds in the microwave.
I like my rice cooker better. And sometimes I cook it with soy sauce and honey and put a little chicken or shrimp into it
Yeah,
on the stove, and that
that
really
sounds
makes
good.
it. We've got a special holiday. You're going to start this one. What have you got?
Oh, this is the National Underwear Day.
You couldn't wait for that one,
No,
could you?
I couldn't. 1912, French designer Lindsay Boudreau becomes the first U.S. first full-time underwear designer.
Interesting. In 1935, it took 23 years for men's briefs to be invented. I can't even imagine that. Go ahead.
I don't
What's
want to
next?
know what they were doing before.
Don't.
1994, Agent Provocateur British lingerie retailer is founded by Joseph Correa and Serena Reese. The company has stores in 13 countries.
And in 2011, much closer now, although it's 12 years before, we're 25, 14 years ago, the largest crowd wearing only undergarments gathered in Salt Lake City. I don't know why there, setting a Guinness World Record. And what's the next one?
2018, nude colored underwear becomes popular, more popular than bright, vivid colors. But wait a
Interesting.
minute, where is Victoria's Secret in all this?
I don't know. Well, maybe that's not considered underwear. That's considered wearable underwear from
I,
under.
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, let's do some numbers. Why don't you give us the first four numbers and I'll do the last one.
21 is the number of pairs of underwear the average American woman owns.
Do you?
And
Do you? Do you?
yeah, probably at least 21.
I
Yeah.
have about 15. Okay, go ahead. Next.
10% is the percentage of women in the US who own more than 35 pairs of underwear.
Interesting.
I
Next.
could be close. Um, 215, the record for the most pairs of underwear worn by 10-year-old Jack Singer in 2010.
I don't know where or why, but we'll leave
You're
that
gonna have
one
to
alone.
explain that one.
Here's the one you want to know. Go ahead.
$5 million, the earnings of the highest paid Victoria's Secret model, Giselle Bundchen. Yes, that makes sense.
Next one.
9% equals the percentage of men in America who own underwear that is at least 10 years old.
And
Only
I'll do
9%?
I'll do the last one. In 2008, a young man named Garth Flaherty in Washington State stole 1,613 pairs of women's underwear. It totaled 93 pounds of bras, panties, and other undergarments from laundry rooms in the apartment complex, I think, where he lived and nearby. He was charged with first-degree theft and burglary. He pleaded guilty. I guess he was caught red or pink or nude-handed. Let's leave that one alone. And was sentenced to 45 days in jail, and apparently he did some in community service, but I'm not sure what service he did for the community. So happy birthday to National Underwear Day. I don't know who started it and when, but we are celebrating it today, and we won't talk about that anymore. I'm going to start the next holiday. It's National Oyster Day. 145 million years ago, what? Dinosaurs roamed the earth and oysters lived in the sea. That sounds like a poem, Sherry.
It does. 9600 BC, oyster fossils from the Stone Age are collected from coastal civilizations, suggesting this population had oysters as part of their regular diet.
And let's move to 1726. We're out of the BC era, mirroring Jonathan Swift's love for oysters. You know, he's the author of Gulliver's Travel. The protagonist in his book was eating raw oysters after being shipwrecked. Okay.
You'll eat anything and you're shipwrecked.
I guess.
18th to 19th centuries, a surge in production and cheaper prices makes oysters available to the masses in US and Europe.
Isn't that exciting? In the 19th century, New York City produced most of the world's supply of oysters. I did not know that.
No, and that seems weird. 1900s, New York's oyster beds were destroyed. Oysters are becoming more popular and prices rise. This dish is now a rare delicacy, and that's true.
Have you ever bought the smoked oysters in the little can?
No, I don't. I don't like oysters.
I've tried the smoked oysters as something with crackers for cocktail hour, and they're not bad. They're very interesting. I won't eat the raw oysters. We have one more holiday, and you're going to start this one.
This is the big butterfly count. I like this one. Launched in 2010, the big butterfly count began for the people all over the UK to count the butterflies in their local area.
So it doesn't count here. And factoids, let me give a couple here. Butterflies are a vital part of the ecosystem, or ecosystem, as some people say, as pollinators and food chain components. The number of butterflies and moths have been decreasing, over several decades. Almost 20,000 butterfly species across the globe, but only 59 of those 20,000 live in the UK. I think 5 or 6 of them are in my backyard. Butterflies typically only live for a few weeks, but some rare species only last 24 hours, and some that are migratory species may last up to 8 months. Sherry, why don't you finish off the rest of it?
Since 2010, the big butterfly count has become the world's biggest survey of butterflies, with more than 100,000 people participating in 2021. People in the UK can submit their counts during the period. The results are tallied and made available to the public, including numbers and species of butterflies, along with day-flying moths. And then there's actually a website for this, of course, bigbutterfly-conservation.org.
If you're in the UK and you want to count butterflies, go there. Let's give a round of applause. All those butterfly people, there you go. There you go. Okay, Sherry, any famous birthdays in your family? Anything you want to add before we go out?
Today would have been my dad's birthday. He would have been, and I knew you were going to ask me how old he would have been. I'm going to say I think he would have been in his past 100.
Happy birthday. What was his first name?
Ignatius.
Ignatius. Happy birthday in memoriam to Sherry's dad, Ignatius. And let's go out with our music. Thank you, Sherry.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Happy birthday. Lonnie, you almost made it to 80. Could have waited. Neil Armstrong, famous steps on the moon. Toni Morrison, breaking barriers and boundaries. I'm going to take us out. Wave goodbye, Sherry.